Alrighty, so we have Rei's kit out now as well. We just looked at Asuka and she seems to be quite the win DPS, but let's take a look and see what Rei's looking like. The thing about okay, let's skip this part. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys care about this, but I don't. Oh, why did she have a scythe here if she's not gonna use it? Okay. What is she, AR? Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, y'all see that effect? Y'all see that little blue effect? I mean, I would say both of them have elegant burst skills. I don't know who I like better, but let's take a look. So Asuka had 2 pages. Rei has a lot of text, but 1 page, and she's a wind character as well. Both of them are wind attacker burst 3. Bro, what? Okay, so just completely forget about like, okay, it's fine. Okay, her first skill, annihilation support. Oh my god, is that no? That's not what they meant. Activates after landing 18 normal attacks. Affects the target when the target is in the anti-AT field status. Deals 590% of final attack as additional damage. Okay. Very good. And then stat count of anti-fields increased by 10. Okay, great. I hope she has the anti-field effect, because I know that specifically cannot just be for like the actual like Asuka. I know that's not for Asuka. It cannot be, because that would just make it a lot better. Like then you're just at that point, if the stat count of the anti-fields increased by 10 is for specifically for Asuka, then you're running these two together, because that's just way better. But anyways, activates after landing 7 normal attacks. When self is in attack state status, affects the target, deals 286% of final attack as additional damage. God damn. Okay. Activates when entering full burst. Affects all allies in annihilation state status. Affects units affected by annihilation state status. Additional effect, increase 1 for 9 seconds. Sure. Attack range of annihilation state status effects increased by 500%. Oh my god. For 9 seconds. And then attack increased by 17.6% of the casted attack for 9 seconds. Bro, why did they make a whole character for Asuka again? Yo, this girl's life purpose is Asuka. Like literally, Rei's her into both of the Reis in this game, their life purpose is to make Asuka look like a broken ass character. Like what? Anyways, the skill 2 activates when entering a full burst. Affects all allies with a machine gun who have used their burst skills. Oh my god. Machine gun heating up speed increased by 100% for 13 seconds. Activates when entering full burst. Affects all allies attack buff of 11% of the casted attack for 10 seconds. Sure. And then her burst skill affects self attack state. Attack damage increased by 35.9%. Attack increased by 63% of the casted attack for 10 seconds, and affects all enemies. She has an AoE. Deals 90% of attack. A final attack as burst skill damage. As burst skill damage? Yeah? That might be crazy. Like, what is it, when they say burst skill damage, it means like full burst buff? Like, that might be crazy. But no, this entire kit's like her entire life purpose is Asuka. Genuinely. Her entire life purpose is Asuka. Like, when you read Asuka's kit, you're like, okay, Asuka's work, how can you make her work with like some other characters, right? And then when you read Rei, it's like, okay, never mind. We're not gonna put Asuka with these other characters. We're just gonna have Asuka and Rei, and they're gonna be a duo. Because this is just silly. I mean, it's a very good kit. It's a very good support for one specific character, but I don't really like that. I don't really like how, I mean, the machine gun buff is great for other machine guns, but I don't really see a situation where you're using her with other machine gun characters. Like, no disrespect, but what machine gun character are you using her with? Modernia? Like, no, you're not using her with other machine gun characters. Let me go to verse 3 specifically. Maybe Red Hood Rappy, but then again, it's like, when are you using her with Red Hood Rappy? I mean, you could. Maybe you can use her with the other Rei for all I care. But, like, when are you actually using her with other machine guns? Red Hood Rappy is probably the only one. You're not going to use it with nobody else. Modernia, you're not using her with Modernia. I mean, you could, but I don't know. I feel like they should have never made her specifically cater to Asuka. I think they should have done more than make her specifically cater to Asuka personally. But hey, that's just my opinion right there, right? I think I don't know. It's just like, I think why I'm more let down that they made her specifically cater to Asuka is because they did it the first time around with this Rei. Like, yeah, her whole thing is like she was still buffing up fire characters in general, but it's like Asuka was a fire character, right? They made her stuff, these buffs that she has, giving the shield, and giving this and that and this and that, was all because of Asuka. Asuka needed these things, right? But rather than basically saying it's for Asuka, they made it for all fire characters. This time around, they made a way for it to be specifically for Asuka, right? The only character in the game, right? Units affected by Annihilation State. The only character in the game that has that is Asuka now. So my whole point is like, what's the point of summoning for Rei if you don't have Asuka? It's one thing to make a character buff up a full class of weapon users, and then another thing to make a character specifically for another character. So when I make my should you summon, I'm going to tell you guys right now, expect me to say don't summon for Rei unless you're going to get Asuka. Because what is the point? Genuinely. I don't see a valid reason of why you should summon for this character if you're not going to get the other one, when this is like clearly made for each other, right? It's like, why would you summon for Blanc at the time if you were not going to get Noir? It made no sense. Why were you going to summon for Tia at the time if you weren't going to go for Naga? It didn't make any sense, right? It's like, it's one of those situations where they're specifically catered for the other character. It's just this time around they're not actually, like, you know, doing stuff for the other character, or like they're not doing stuff for a lot of the characters. They're just doing stuff for one character, right? And yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, but CX is the MC, like machine gun heating up speed is great for machine gun characters. It is, but when you look at the burst through DPS options, only one of them you're using. You're not using Rei with this Rei. You're not using Rei with Ludmilla. That's silly. You're not using her with Guillotine. You're definitely not using her with Modernia. The only reason why you would use her with Red Hood Rappy is because people would probably use Red Hood Rappy as the burst one of that team. Other than that, you're not using her with none of these characters. But you are going to be using her with the brand new machine gun character who literally needs all this stuff to work. You know what I mean? So, yeah. In terms of that, I'm going to have to do a should you summon for these characters as well. I think they come out today. So I'm gonna have to do a should you summon and really like think about it, because this one is quite stressful. Mind you, we're going into March, and after March is April, and in April we have the half anniversary. So yeah, you guys are gonna have to keep that in mind. But hey, it's your boy Zxous, I'm out. Let me know.